weekend, Octagon 48 goes down, and I'm going to give you some reasons why you need to watch this card. So I'll just start with one of the main reasons. Yaroslav Pokorny versus Shamrock. This is a fight you want to watch. Not just because of how entertaining it's going to be, but because of the backstory. So Shamrock, if you know this backstory around Shamrock, this guy was on the run for 10 years. Literally on the run. Literally fled the fucking country, fled the UK, fled Liverpool, uh, traveled to like Thailand, all around the world, while still on the run for 10 years, found MMA in Thailand. Well, started training jiu-jitsu, then got into MMA, and the rest they say is history. But this guy's backstory really crazy. Ended up finally, he was in British territory because he fought in Northern Ireland, which is under British territory. And yeah, he ended up getting knocked out in one of his fights and then arrested afterwards. Yeah, definitely not a good day for him. It was also the first fight that his mum watched him in. So yeah, definitely not a good day at the office for Shamrock. But he ended up getting cleared of everything. He was on the run for a crime he didn't commit as well. I could add, he committed crimes, but not the crime that they were chasing him up on. He used to deal drugs and all sort of stuff. So yeah, interesting backstory there. But what makes this interesting is not just that backstory, but the guy he's fighting. The guy he's fighting. So his opponent, Jaroslav Pokorny, is actually a police officer. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. He's a police officer. I don't know if he's still an active cop or he was a cop at one point, but at the very least, this man was a fucking police officer. So, the backstory there's a lot of beef between them. Shamrock called him out. They were meant to fight originally, but Pokorny ended up pulling out. So yeah, a lot of beef here. Very big story. There's a big story. Shamrock, very charismatic, talks a lot of trash. Very similar personality-wise to Paddy Pimblett. They train together. They're both Scouse, not English. And it should be a really interesting bout here. It should be an entertaining fight as well. Shamrock got a very unique style. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. A lot of bad blood on this one. I seen that his opponent, Pokorny, was also talking a lot of trash, saying, the guy's a drug dealer and all this stuff. And yeah, just not saying not saying the greatest things about the guy. So no love lost between these two, but it should be a very entertaining contest in my opinion. Then moving on, another reason why you should watch this Octagon card is because of the fight. Well, there's a couple of reasons. I will gloss over that Jack Cartwright is fighting Brazilian Junior Assis 8-5. That Jack Cartwright, not a bad fighter, entertaining fighter. His Dana White Contender Series performance was very odd. He did end up losing that one. That was a really weird fight. He didn't fight like himself there, but still. But another reason why you got to watch this card is because of the Octagon Challenge fight that's going down between George Staines and Dennis Frimpong. This is a sick fight. This is a really good fight. Really looking forward to this one. If you've watched any of the Octagon Challenge, Dennis Frimpong, very entertaining, trash talker, talks. Yeah, there is no filter on this guy. He will say fucking whatever is on his mind, no matter who it offends. The guy quite literally doesn't give a fuck. Like, really, he does not give a fuck. He said some pretty fucking outlandish stuff, I'm not going to lie. If you see my prediction for George Staines versus Dennis Frimpong, you know what I'm talking about. Just to get to the gist of it, he pretty much said he's going to send George Staines to his dead grandmother, so that's pretty fucked up. He said a lot of other stuff to all the other guys. Like, he just trash talked every single person. But, guy's an entertaining personality, has a very fun fight style. Tries to be flashy. I feel like it might be a bit to his detriment. I feel like he doesn't need to be as flashy as he is. But, if it works for him, it works for him. Very fun fighter, though. Very good, like I say, very fun fight style. Has some pretty cool knockouts. Fight sort of similar to Anderson Silva, obviously not as good yet. Maybe one day he will be, but still very entertaining fight style, and I like watching this guy fight. George Staines, very very good prospect, really good grappling, has heavy hands. There's a lot of beef between these two. Obviously, Frimpong did make fun of his dead grandmother. Also made fun of him for potentially having like a brain bleed, saying, "I'm not scared of him. He's not on my mind. The only thing his mind's full of is blood." All this sort of stuff. So, a lot of fucking crazy trash talk between these two, but should be a really good back and forth fight. And yeah, the winner of this would probably have, be a pretty big name, but yeah, that should be a really entertaining fight. Another reason you got to watch this card is the fight in the middleweight division between comedian Paul Smith and I think he's a reality star, Jake Quickenden. Very interesting fight this one is. Generally very, very interesting. These two guys both making their first MMA fights, both just famous guys who are getting out of their comfort zone. You love to see it. You know, I wish more people would do stuff like this. Like, it is just a cool story to see. Like, just to see a comedian in an MMA fight. Why would you pass that up? And to see a reality star. If you don't like his comedy, you can watch him get punched in the face. If you don't like the influencer, you can watch him get punched in the face. At the very least, if you don't like both of these guys, they're going to inflict some pain on each other. But, Paul Smith seems like a solid dude. I don't know much about his opponent. But, it should be an interesting fight. It's always cool to see debutants, especially if they're famous. So that is a reason to tune in. It's got freak show vibes, of course. But it'll be interesting to see what type of fight these two are going to have in that Oktagon on the weekend. And then moving on, you got the fight in the main event between Aaron Abbey and Elias Garcia. If you remember Elias Garcia, he actually fought Kai France in the UFC. Pretty entertaining fighter. Then you got his opponent, the Welshman. So that should just be a good fight. Flyweights are always interesting, so that should be a good scrap between these two. But yeah, there's probably more reasons why to watch this card, but you're going to just have to watch the card to find out. But I am actually very excited for this Oktagon card. Lee Chadwick's on the card. I'm pretty sure he had retired, but he's back. You've also got the fight between Alex Lahoro versus Ion Serdu. Serdu, he's got some good wins. He looks like a fucking star just looking at him. He looks like a badass. Has a knockout of sub 1 minute knockout over Henderson Fahea. Henderson Fahea's got wins over UFC fighter Femba Grimbo, beat Amirian Golodzi. This guy's got some pretty good wins on his record. Beat Ray Cooper the third. Beat Bojan Velakovic. And like I said, Ion Serdu knocked him out in a sub 1 minute KO. So, fun fighter, very fun fighter, Moldovan. Who knows, maybe we have the welterweight Ion Kutalaba on our hands. But I guess we'll see. There should be some really fun fights on this card, though, so make sure you check out Oktagon 48. Because I think these cards have some potential, man. Like, Oktagon actually does put on good events. I watch some of their cards when I can. If you're in Europe especially, you've got to watch this card. It's on DAZN, so yeah, if you can, make sure you watch this card because you will not regret it. There will be some really fun fights. Shamrock is a potential superstar in my opinion. Maybe even Dennis Frimpong if he can get this fight done. It's a very tough matchup against George Staines, but that guy could actually be a pretty big star as well. Very entertaining talker. Just let's hope he can have as much success in the fights as he does with his mouth because the man is a very good talker. I'll give him that. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about the Oktagon 48 card. So make sure you check out Oktagon 48 this weekend. They are not paying me to do this. I'm not getting any money. This is just me doing this out of my own free will. I want to help promote mixed martial arts anywhere I can. So yeah, make sure you check out Octagon 48 this weekend. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.